Welcome to the West Jackson YouTube channel. Now, we would like to take this opportunity to introduce to you the ministry staff here at West Jackson. Now, before we get to today's special guest, I'd like to take this opportunity to say, if you're new to the area, I would like to invite you to the Sunday morning service, which starts at 9:15, and a small group study to follow. Now, today's special guest is our associate pastor, Brother Chris O'Daniel. Let's see if we can go find him. All right, and welcome back to the channel. Now, today we've got a very special guest. It's the associate pastor, Brother Chris O'Daniel. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us here on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jeremy. Glad to be here and excited to talk with you today.
All right, well, we're going to get started. Brother Chris, what is some of your responsibilities here at West Jackson?
Yeah, so some of my main responsibilities are I lead the adult Sunday school, so I'm over all of the adult Sunday school classes from young adult all the way up to our senior adult classes, and I just help to lead that ministry, recruit teachers, periodically have training and that type of thing. I also am responsible for some administration things. So I'm over the maintenance. We have a maintenance director, but I'm kind of over the maintenance area. I'm over the housekeeping that keeps the church clean, help with the office support staff, and I do a lot of other things. I work with the personnel committee. I work with the stewardship committee, the property and space committee, and help lead the church with some of those leadership areas. And really anything else, any other types of vendors that have business with the church, I'm kind of over that stuff too. Yes. In addition, I'm over the print communication, which if we do any, when we used to have like an outreach newsletter or the bulletin or anything that we might put in the newspaper, anything like that that's for the church. And then, of course, I help to do the teaching and preaching, fill in for the pastor whenever he's out, and also partner with our pastor to do Wednesday night teaching, Sunday night teaching, and that type of thing. So all of that, in addition to the filling in with the pastor whenever he says any other duties assigned by the pastor. So the sky's the limit.
So you stay pretty busy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, on the maintenance side, we guess we can talk about it now. We've got a new building that you're kind of overseeing.
Yeah. So we'll have our maintenance director obviously will be over that building, and then of course we'll have a housekeeping department that will most likely hire from outside to come like they do now that cleans our church. And so we'll have those parties responsible for the maintenance and then the housekeeping of that building.
Now, I've also heard that you're over the thermostat.
Yeah, I'm the minister of thermostats here at the church and trying to make sure it's not too hot, not too cold, but with as many members as we have around here, not everybody's going to be pleased. We've got people out there either with jackets and coats or waving their hands and saying, Brother Chris, it's too hot.
Or it's too cold, either one.
Exactly right.
Well, how many small groups are available for the adults here at West Jackson?
Yeah, so our small groups, we call it Sunday school or small groups that we meet after our church service on Sunday morning. We actually have 17 ranging from our college and career class to young adult to marriage and family classes. I think we've got 4 of those. We've got other co-ed classes. We've got men's classes and women's classes. So altogether, we've got 17 different types of small groups that a church member, could be a part of. And of course, our small groups is where you really get to know people here at the church. You come to church and you're part of, the big group, which is the sanctuary, which is our church service. But the way that you really get to know people is through our small groups. And in our small groups, there's teaching that takes place, obviously. But that's where ministry and fellowship can really take place, is in our small groups. So if you really want to get plugged in to West Jackson, and be plugged into ministry and fellowship, you want to be a part of one of our small groups.
Ah. Now you also teach one of the small groups.
As a matter of fact, I do.
Right.
So not necessarily one of the requirements to be the associate pastor to be a Sunday school teacher, but I am. So back in September of 2024, we started. Well, we had it one time before a young adult class, and then it kind of disbanded for a season, and then we brought it back in September of 2024, a young adult class. And so for those students that are in our college and career class that are a little bit older than college age, we would say, can be a part of our young adult class. So we're talking probably mid-20s and older. This class would be for those that are single or even those that are married and can be a part of that class. And so we started that class, like I said, in September of 2024. My wife, Amy, and I helped to lead that class. And so we're having a good time, and we've got a good group of people in that department, and we love being a part of that. Yeah.
So where does all of the small groups take place? Kind of when and where?
Yeah.
All that.
So our small groups will take place on Sunday mornings. We have our church service begins at 9:15, typically is over, 10:30, 10:45 or so. And so our small groups will begin right after that. Usually we'll say 10:45, and they'll run to 11:30, 11:45. Some classes, they finish when they finish. But we try to tell them 11:45 and be ready to dismiss about there. And they meet in a variety of places across our church campus. We have multiple buildings on our church campus, and so they meet really all over. We building A, B, C, D, even in the fellowship hall. And so that's where our classes will meet.
Now, is there different studies, or how do some of the teachers?
Yeah, so each class really has the freedom to lead their class the way they want to. So if they want to go through a book in the Bible, they can do that. If they want to order perhaps some the Lifeway literature for their class, they can do that and teach through that. Some of our classes I know are teaching through maybe like a book study, like a David Jeremiah book study, maybe a video curriculum. And so really we give them a lot of flexibility and a lot of freedom to lead and to teach their class how they want to.
Yeah. Well, not only small groups on Sunday mornings, but now there's something going on Wednesday mornings also.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
So we have a Wednesday morning. We call it our senior adult Bible study, but it's not limited to senior adults. If you're not as old as a senior adult, you can come and be a part of that. And we have music, usually some hymns.
Yeah.
And then we have a Bible study, typically led by our pastor, Keith Cochran, and music led by our music minister, Ken Reich. And it's about an hour, and it's every Wednesday morning from 10:30 to 11:30, and it's a good time of fellowship also, as well as Bible study. And it gives our senior adults another option to come and meet on Wednesday morning, especially during the wintertime, maybe when it gets a little bit darker earlier, and some of our members may not be too keen to get out and drive. In the evenings, they can come and be a part of that Bible study, and it's a like I said, a good time of fellowship, and our people really seem to like it.
And
really
then
do.
on Wednesday nights we have.
Yeah, on Wednesday nights typically. So what we'll have in addition to doing, we have our typical Wednesday night stuff for our children and our youth, and then choir and orchestra.
Yeah.
We have options. We have class options for the rest of our church membership. So typically we will have like a ladies class. Many times it's been led by our pastor's wife, Bretta Cochran. We'll have also a men's class, which typically has been led by our pastor. And then we have kind of a co-ed class, which has been led here lately by one of our church members, Matt Wilburn. And it's a co-ed class. So really you have three different options. And I'm usually part of the co-ed class. I've taught the co-ed class for a season. And so we have all those different options if you want to be, like I said, a part of a ladies class, a men's class. or even this co-ed class, a lot of different options on Wednesday night.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, let me just shift gears a little bit and spring this one on you. Now, you and your wife, your family, y'all have been here a good many years now.
We have, yeah. So I initially came on board as the student minister, student and recreation minister, in August of 2000.
Yeah.
And so I served in that position from August of 2000 until January of 2018. So about 17 and a half years I was our student minister. And then in January of 2018, I transitioned to our associate pastor position. We have had an associate pastor on several different occasions, and that position was vacant for a little bit, and so we decided we wanted to fill that again, and Brother Keith came to me and said, would you consider praying about filling that? And I said, wow, not sure, but I did, prayed about it. It was a little bit of a difficult choice because my youngest son was moving into the student ministry, and when I began to talk to my wife about it, and of course my kids, and my son Connor was about to move into the student ministry, he said, "Daddy, don't take it. I want you to be my student minister." Of course, that was sweet, and I liked that too. But it was felt like it was the right move, and through prayer and feeling like God leading that way, decided that was the move to make. Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Well, also, I hear you're a grandfather.
yeah.
Your grandparents are,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Recently became a grandpa here. So right now we're in June of 2025, and so I became a grandparent in January of 2025. My oldest son, Cameron, and his wife, Taylor, had a little girl named Lucy Elizabeth, and so she came here on January 3rd, and me and Amy are just, man, we're just overwhelmed and just can't even believe that our kid has had a kid. So anyway, and so it's the first kind of girl in the family, because Amy and I have had all boys, and we've got 4 sons, and to have a little girl in the family as a granddaughter is really amazing. And so anyway, we're learning what it means to be grandparents. And so anyway, so it's been a really neat experience. Sure
I don't
has.
know if I'll ever get to know what that feeling is. One last thing, if someone's visiting
Yeah.
here at West Jackson and they haven't really moved into the small groups, can you kind of offer them some kind of advice? It's like, where to go maybe to...
Sure, yeah, definitely. So, yeah, if you're visiting with us here at West Jackson, we're grateful that you've come to visit, and we would encourage you to get plugged into one of our small groups. That's going to be the best way to get to know people. Many times people come to church anyway, whether it's West Jackson or another church. They come because they know somebody. And so many times that's kind of a built-in way that you get plugged into West Jackson. But if you're not sure where to go, you can always find me. At the end of the service, we have an invitation, and so I'm usually at the front of the service, and you can come find me. And if you're not sure where to go, I can direct you in the right place. But we've got other printouts that are out in the information center that are posted in various places in the church that you could find out where to go. But if not sure, you can ask somebody. We've got people at the information desk, or you can, like I said, come find me, and we will direct you to the right class. People also can check out classes. If you visit a Sunday school class and you say, well, this is the class that I visited, checked it out, would like to check out a couple of different classes, that's fine too. We've had people that have checked out a couple of classes until they kind of find maybe the right fit. And so that's also an option.
Yeah, and of course, if anybody wants information on West Jackson, they can check out the website, westjackson.com. I got it. I'll try to put that down in the description. Well, Brother Chris, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk.
Thank you, Jeremy. Yeah.
And Sunday morning services start at
9:15. 9:15. That's right.
And then after the service is when we'll have small group studies.
That's when we have our small group. Yes, right after the service ends. That's
I
right.
do. Thank you so much, Brother Chris, for
Yes,
being
sir.
with us, and just stick around, and more to come here on the YouTube channel. Thanks, everybody.